you. I'm very feel a bit humble here to stand in front of the many knowledgeable participants in this room. And I would like to present my research related, which was conducted by one of my PhD students. And my presentation outline will involve introduction, background, objective, results and discussion, conclusion and recommendation. And to introduce what are the material that I use in this project, we don't produce the nanosilicon material, but we purchase it. So we want to try and test. We apply the material. We have two. In fact, if you see that, we have another group that are working on bacteria, which can self-heal the concrete. And this one, we are using nanosilicon to improve the performance of concrete, hopefully in future. This waterproof concrete, which are needed, which can prevent the passage of water from one plane to another, because the problems of water seepage and problems of water entering into the concrete structure or concrete material, it is very problematic to our construction industry. Network of pores and capillaries existed within the matrix of the concrete, because there are bound to be air voids, there are bound to be a lot of air voids in concrete, even though we try to do the best that we can. And through this network of pores and capillaries, the concrete can interact with the environment. Once they can interact with the environment, we're bound to face a problem. As I mentioned to you, it can lead to corrosion of steel, which was supposed to be protected by the concrete. This interaction allows the ingress of water and other aggressive fluids if left unprotected. So we have problems. We have a lot of waters in Malaysia, especially because we are tropical countries. And every year we have flooding. And also we have problem also with the concrete structures. That's the reason why our group are trying to improve the performance of concrete. Not only using bacteria, but also with using the other materials. The effects of water seepage, as you can see from this photo, is probably very, which can be very aggressive towards the concrete structure. And this is what some of the example of the concrete structure surface that has been attacked by the water. And various methods to protect concrete from water ingress is we use sometimes many of the project, especially at the rooftop, we are using the flat roof. We are using the some of the project we are using the polymer sheet, and some of the project we use the combination and surface coating by spray and also polymer cement composite. And our group to report here that the we are using also biomaterial, that is bacteria that are available within our soil in Malaysia. We have successfully also reduced improved the waterproof concrete capacity in our research. And in fact, this nano silicon material, I will show you the results that we have done. And the objective of this research is to create water repellent concrete. This is the most important agenda that we are trying to use. And the material is being characterized using field emission scanning electron microscope, energy dispersive spectroscopy, and also water contact angle, where we can also measure that using an instrument, modern instrument. So the results, if you look at the table 1, and we look at the photo, the FASM image of the product or the concrete structure that we have tested, and from the figure 10, a crystalline nanosilicon are spherical in shape. Table 1 has further shown that minimum and the average size of the particle that we obtain between 10 nano and also 378 nano. And then if we look at the result here, we have the figure 11 has shown using the EDS instrument, has shown the peaks of the silicon, and so carbon and the presence of carbon and oxygen and the elemental composition are presented in here, the table 2. If you look at the elemental, the percentage of content and atomic percentage of the content presented. And if you look also the static water contact angle, probably the larger contact angle, probably the better the concrete surface to protect the concrete structure from water seepage. And if you look at that, the static water contact angle measurement equipment, and from the above figure, the average water contact angle at 3 different locations was found to be 127. Normally, the normal concrete is less than 90. Once it becomes less than 90, then the water will get through into the concrete. And the result, if you look at the result, the water absorption versus time, figure 14 shows the water absorption. We look at the several percentage of the nanosilicon material that we add into the sample. This one without nanosilicon, this one 2% nanosilicon until 10% of the nanosilicon material, and shows that the water absorption capillary decreases with the increase of the crystalline nanosilicon suspension. But the trend at 6%, after which start to decrease, hence 6% was the optimum amount, but that is the probably rough estimate that we have, the result that we have obtained. And the result also shows that the capillary suction coefficient, the capillary water absorption coefficient was also presented in table 3. And as can be seen in table 4, the capillary water absorption coefficient decreased by 55%, although we haven't got the 100% waterproof concrete. But we try to manipulate the content of this nanosilicon material, and the initial result has also improved. Although here we reported 55%, we can go up to at least minimum 70 to 80% of the water resistance. And that also we end the conclusion, because I have 10 minutes there, and we're going to stop at 1:20 hopefully. And the characterization of the material was using FASM, ADS, and GA, and this hopefully will conclude and will help us to confirm some of the characteristics of concrete that we have done. And the crystalline nanosilicon was found to be spherical. The more spherical the crystalline material, the more better in terms of water resistivity. And water contact angle is also very important. If larger than that, probably we have better. It's like glass, where the water resistant. Here in this contact, or in this research, we have successfully reduced the water resistance. Increased the water resistance by 55%. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks a lot for the presentation, and thanks for observing the time, because otherwise we had to reduce the time for lunch, so I appreciate that. So, any question, please, from audience? Yes, please.
How can we control the contact angle practically?
If so, if you want to control the contact angle, that's one of the options that we have just now, I have shown, is to use nanosilicon material so that we can control the surface of the concrete. So that is one of the options. I'm not taking this is the only option. If the surface can reflect the water that has been dropped or water that they in contact, the smaller the surface of the spherical of the water in contact, they can get through into the material. But the larger the surface that is in contact with the water, it's just like you drop water on glasses. If you drop the water on glasses and compare, you drop the water on probably on some other absorptive material, the surface of the water that drop on the material that has more capillary or voids inside the material surface, then the water angle, contact angle will be smaller. But if you are using glass, the contact angle will become spread or larger. So that's the reason why they cannot penetrate through the logic behind that. So that's why we measure also the contact angle to ensure that the surface material go probably better than 90 degrees or if we can, actually if the water contact angle is larger, it's much better. That's the logic that I can explain.